In this video, we'll be looking at scary and creepy TikToks that you probably should not watch before bed.
911, what's the location of the emergency?
Help me!
Yes, what address do you need help?
I'm not on an address, I'm on the road, on Myers Road! He's trying to kill me!
Which road are you on?
Myers Road in Oregon City!
Okay, do you have an address? Listen.
Be late, come on, get a cop here now!
Okay, who's trying to kill you?
My husband! He's trying to pick up truck!
Okay, what?
He's trying to kill me! Come on! He's trying to pay!
And what kind of gun does he have? Ma'am? Ma'am, take a deep breath so I can understand you. Ma'am?
This is crazy.
I've already got help coming. I need you to tell me wire and what?
On plan. I'm on plan. Squire.
Just a minute.
I'm walking. He shot me.
Okay, you're on fire at Glenview Court?
He shot me.
Okay, where did he shoot you?
In the chest.
In the chest?
Oh, wow.
He's over there.
I bet she did make that decision after that one. That was a crazy
footage
video.
of Madeleine McKenna after the event.
Spotted on 4th of May 2007, one day after her disappearance. This girl had heterochromia and was seen 2 miles from the crime scene.
Mr. Cruel case. Y'all ever heard of the Mr. Cruel case? Never heard of that one.
This is one of the most high-profile pedophiles in Hollywood, Jeffrey Jones. You might recognize Jeffrey from a number of movies he's been in, like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Hunt for Red October, and Beetlejuice. It's highly ironic to me that in a lot of the movies he was in, Jeffrey Jones played the villain, and he ended up being one in real life. So after his career flourished in the late 80s and 90s, let's fast forward to 2002. That year, Jeffrey was arrested for the possession of CP, if you know what I'm talking about, and he was accused by a 17-year-old boy of soliciting him to take nude photos. These charges get even more disturbing when you realize that the young boy who accused Jeffrey of soliciting him to take nude photographs was 14 when the charges were originally brought up and the accusations were made. Jeffrey pleaded no contest to the solicitation. He openly admitted that he had done this horrible thing. But once again, because of legal loopholes, because he admitted to this and pled no contest, that meant that the other CP charges were completely dropped. And what happened to Jeffrey after all this? Well, he got 5 years probation. He also had to go through counseling and register as a sex offender. And yes, if you're wondering, to this day he is still registered as a sex offender. You can find the records of all of this online. But it seems like Jeffrey didn't want to be known as a sex offender throughout his life. for the rest of his life, and he would end up being arrested twice for failing to update his sex offender registration. And in 2006, when working on the set of the movie Who's Your Caddy?, the community of Aiken, South Carolina, where the film was being filmed, complained to the government and complained that a sex offender was on set. This was due to the fact that families had been invited to visit the set with their children, and they had no idea that there was a predator lurking amongst the crew. To this day, a lot of people don't know what this guy has done, and even Justin Bieber posted a photo with him a couple years back, and a lot of people were obviously a little mad about that. And I think it's important to realize that these people are everywhere. They're your friends, your family, your neighbors. They're even celebrities. And at the end of the day, even the people that you look up to and have seen a million times on the silver screen could be the worst people you've ever met in real life. If you like these types of stories, give me a follow or listen to my wife and I's podcast, Murder in America.
This is one of the most horrific stories I've come across, and that takes a lot. It's the story of Ottie Sanchez and baby Scotty. Viewer discretion is advised. It's graphic and it's disturbing.
You all ready for this?
Ottie was a 33-year-old former healthcare worker in San Antonio, Texas. She'd undergone psychiatric treatment for schizophrenia and she'd been in and out of psychiatric wards for mental health problems. She was suffering from these problems when she met her boyfriend Scott, who was also in the healthcare profession and also suffered from schizophrenia. Otti fell pregnant, and in July 2009 she gave birth to a son who the couple named Scotty. Scott said she was a brilliant mother. She breastfed her son and cared for him like any mother would. Otti absolutely doted on her son, but after his birth she began suffering from postnatal depression. Her mental health declined and she was admitted into hospital on July 20th. She was released less than a day later, despite the fact that she'd refused to take medication to help with her intrusive thoughts. She told her boyfriend Scott that she was suffering with PND and schizophrenia, and she'd be taking Scotty and going to live with her mum, sister and nieces. 5 days later, she brought Scotty to see his dad, but after asking for a copy of the birth certificate, she flew into a rage, took Scotty in his car seat, threw it into the passenger seat of the car and drove off. Scott reported this instance to the police, fearing for his son's safety, but the police merely marked it down as a disturbance. By now, Otti was suffering from postpartum psychosis. She'd expressed to officers and medical professionals that she was hearing voices, and she feared she may harm her son. Despite all of her concerns, Scotty was left in her care, and on July 26, 2009, the unthinkable happened.
I need an ambulance at 361 Wayside Drive. 351 Wayside? Yeah. A house or an apartment? It's a house. It's an emergency. Okay. And what's going on? What's the emergency? I'm sorry? What's the emergency? What's going on? Sister has... She's hurt her child. Seriously, you hurt her child. How did she do that? What's going on with the child? The baby is dead. She has... What did you say? The baby is dead. How old is the baby?
They be asking so many questions, man.
3 weeks old? 3 weeks old? Not even 3 weeks old. What did she do to him? She stabbed him. There's blood all over the head. I don't know. Where's your sister at? You said, stay there, Auntie. Stay there. I'm sorry. Priscilla, where's your sister at? She's just sitting on the couch. She's gone crazy last night. She was hearing voices. She kept bringing me the baby, and finally she calmed down, and I took her back to the baby. And then now I just woke up to her screaming. Okay, how old is the baby? Not even 3 weeks old. The baby's dead. The baby's dead. Please, somebody call. Okay, there are other ways, but okay.
Yo, they playing the whole call.
No, Auntie, nobody's dead. It's okay, baby. Just stay right there. Is that your sister? Yes. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Do you stand yourself?
Yo.
Sister, I told you to come to me. I'm not dead, Auntie. I'm standing right here talking to you. Priscilla. Yes. Where did she stab herself? In the heart and in the stomach, she says. Where did she see it? I see a stab wound in her heart, yes.
When officers
Yo.
arrived at the home, they saw a scene that was so horrific they've had to seek counselling. Otti had used 3-bladed weapons to stab, kill, dismember and decapitate her 3-week-old son. She'd then eaten parts of his brain, his foot and his nose, saying that the devil had told her she had to do this in order to kill the demon inside her and stop an apocalypse. Otti had then stabbed herself and slashed her own throat. Otti was arrested and charged with capital murder, but after being examined by 3 separate doctors who all determined she was legally insane, she was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Otti was admitted to a state mental institution where she'll stay until the jury determines that she's not a risk to herself or others.
Probably never going to determine that. Yo. Wow. Messed up after that one. Yeah, show me some creepy masks or something. People just love Halloween and dressing up like this, don't they? This is where it starts, y'all. Look, y'all. These scary and creepy TikTok videos definitely messed me up, I'm not gonna lie, and I would suggest you probably not watch them before bed. But if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time YouTube, peace.